I'm at the beginning of an exciting adventure that will take me through the heart of Central Africa to see two of the planet's most endearing animals and our closest living relatives.
I can't quite believe I'm in the Congo. There's so much mystery about the place, and pretty much everything you hear about it is bad. And yet it is just extraordinarily compelling. And I think it is that mysteriousness, that kind of the heart of darkness, all that stuff that just makes you think, you know, I've got to see it. I've got to see it.
My first stop is the Nyungwe National Park, just over the border in Rwanda. It's the largest montane rainforest in Africa and one of the continent's best-kept secrets. This place hosts a staggering 13 different species of primate, and I'm heading to find one that the park is particularly renowned for: chimpanzees. In Nyungwe, the chimps are elusive, but extremely vocal.
What's amazing is they're right here. They are right here, up in the trees. You cannot see them. These are big animals. Chimps don't make it easy for you. I mean, we have climbed down and down and down these incredibly steep slopes, and we keep hearing tantalizing calls and getting glimpses of them. They're only partially habituated. That can be a little frustrating if you really, really want to see chimps up close. But to get a real sense of their natural behaviour in their natural habitat, this is a real, real treat. Here's one coming down. A youngster that's come out of this thick foliage. They've been teasing us all morning, but this little one has come out, seems really curious, looking down at us. Who are you? Watching wild animals like Nyungwe's chimps in their natural habitat is becoming an increasingly rare privilege wherever you are in the world. Particularly here, a place that's been ravaged by war and political instability. Human beings have an insatiable need for land and resources, and that comes at a terrible cost to our wildlife. There are more than 200 primates being cared for here at the Luwero orphanage. This part of Central Africa is one of the richest in the world for natural resources. And yet, the wealth that comes from those resources doesn't trickle down. And the people here are often forced to go into national parks and take wood to burn to cook their food, to build their houses, to turn into charcoal, to sell, to make a living, but also to get food, to hunt for bushmeat. And although they won't necessarily be looking for primates like monkeys or gorillas or chimps, they're using snares, and snares are indiscriminate. And the big problem is that, you know, any animal can get caught in a snare. So even if they're going in looking for antelope or bush pig, they're just going to get whatever walks into that snare. And this is proof of the indiscriminatory way of hunting that is used here. At least having a sanctuary like this run by scientists with an approach that is all about rehabilitation does give them a second chance. The real challenge is to stop poaching altogether, and that is the aim of the Poli Poli Foundation.
Just over the border, in the DRC, at the edge of the Kahuzi Biéga National Park, is the Poli Poli Foundation. It was set up by one man, award-winning conservationist John Kahekwa. John is working with the local community to create a livelihood that prevents the need to go into the forest for wood or food. I asked John to tell me more about how he's rethinking traditional conservation practices.
There are many alternatives. Tree planting in the villages. All you can see is what we have been planting since 1993, 1 year later after the creation of Poli Poli Foundation.
So the villagers now are effectively farming the wood that they need.
You know, the human pressure on the tree cutting down in the park has diminished.
And what about education? What are you doing about that?
In Poli Poli Foundation, we set up a kindergarten school, an elementary school, and a high school.
So children, through the Poli Poli Foundation, can learn about the importance of the forest and its role within the environment and within their community itself.
John was kind enough to invite me to the community celebration of Poli Poli's work and to take part in a tree planting ceremony.
What I love about the Poli Poli Foundation is it is the brainchild of somebody from here. You know, John is from this community, he works in the park, he is perfectly placed, not just to understand the problems and the root of those problems, but then to find solutions that work long term. What was wonderful about today was just seeing that the whole community is right behind John, but they would only get behind him if it does work for them, and clearly it does.
This is the part of the trip that I've been most excited about. There's a group of habituated gorillas here, and John's my guide. He's known them all his life and can identify every individual.
Right. Is this where we walk in?
Yes. This is our path.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
I'm ready
I'm
too.
ready.
Let's go. Oh, Kate, can you see here? Gorillas have been eating this yesterday. You see? They took the tender side, crushed it, and throw the rest. These are one of the signs to know where are gorillas.
But where did they go? What could I see that would give me a sign?
Some have been going through here. You see?
I can actually. I can.
Yeah, you can see some open and some remnant of food. Some members went there.
Yeah. It's such a treat being in an environment like this with somebody like John who literally knows it like the back of his hand. And it's his insight that's allowing me to really start to feel actually part of this forest. We've stopped because the trackers think we're really close. Is that right, John?
Yes.
Pretty close.
We need close the gorillas.
How do you know we're close? What tells you that we're close?
Because we saw two different signs.
Right.
We saw the fresh dung, this morning dung, and we saw the fresh remnant of bamboo shoot eating.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they could be anywhere around here?
They could be anywhere. And when we were walking, I heard a gorilla chest beating right now.
Did?
Yes, I did.
How come I didn't hear it?
Maybe. Yeah, you sometimes can hear something like it.
There was something over there.
Yes. This is what I'm telling you. Yes.
I must not cry.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Come, here they are. Please enjoy. This way.
Oh my God, this is just...
You can see the silverback line and the blackbacks as well.
They're just here, look. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my goodness, there's a little one coming. This is the youngest in the group.
The youngest. Muira, shh. Oh, no. His name is Muira.
Oh, look at you.
He's looking in the mirror.
Yeah. This little chap here is 4 years old. And he's really curious about the camera. He's desperate to come and looking in. What can you see? What can you see?
This is Pori.
Pori.
Pori means bush.
And how old is he? He looks bigger than the...
Pori is about six years. You see, very curious.
Very curious.
Pori, how are you? This is Mama Kate.
It's a real pleasure to meet you, Pori.
Yes.
I never expected to get this sort of encounter with completely wild gorillas. And this is the true privilege of seeing wildlife like this in a situation where they're entirely comfortable with humans and will allow us this window into their lives. Now, Jonny, as founder of Wild Frontiers, you're the kind of driving force behind the destinations that you choose to send people. I remember very well a phone call in 2009 saying, Kate, how do you fancy going to Afghanistan? Which was, you know, a little bit left of field. This time it was Democratic Republic of Congo. Why?
Well, as you know, before I started as a tour operator, I was a travel writer. And back in the 90s, I did 3 big journeys through countries that would have been considered to be difficult destinations, places like Afghanistan, the Congo, Sudan, Angola. And 2 things I really learned from those journeys was firstly that these destinations offered a really fascinating and authentic travel experience, but also that the perception of danger was far, far greater than the reality when you were actually on the ground. So when I formed Wild Frontiers, it was fairly obvious that I would set up with these kind of destinations in mind. So when John Kahekwa came to us understanding our history in kind of post-conflict tourism and asked us to partner with him in bringing tourists to the Congo to see the gorillas, I was all up for it and I thought this was a great idea.
So how do you envisage helping the communities in the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Tourists come here, they spend money in hotels, in restaurants, they hire guides and drivers, and they buy locally crafted souvenirs, and that money goes directly back into the community. But there's a secondary benefit from the tourists coming. They come here to primarily see the forests, to experience the landscapes, to visit the gorillas. The more the local people see and understand this, the greater relevance their environment has, and then the more likely they are to protect it.
If you want to follow in my footsteps and see great apes in Rwanda and the DRC, go to wildfrontierstravel.com.